Hello. Way back on Tuesday, March 17th, we suspended masses. And in our minds, we said, we'll be done. We'll be back to church by Easter. April came and went. We weren't back. We then said, let's give it a little more time. And we said it will be Mother's Day. Same thing. And now here we are at the end of May. Well, I come to you today with some positive news. Yesterday, the diocese gave us a few sheets of paper, all the directives on how we are to restart masses. It's not easy. There's a lot that has to be accomplished. But with each other and our support, we will make this happen. First, there will be a 4-phase process in how we'll reopen. And I will read it because it's the best way. Phase 1, parishes will begin the celebration of weekday masses with a congregation of a limited number. This will be determined together with the start date of this phase. At that time, there will also be strict physical distancing, the use of masks, and, of course, strict procedures for communion and for the cleaning of the church. Phase 2, parishes will be celebrating Sunday masses with a congregation of a limited number to be announced together with the start date of that phase. Once again, strict physical distancing, use of masks, and this time strict procedures for how communion will be distributed. Phase 3 is an easy phase. That is basically just adding more people to the numbers able to be coming to Mass. A little lessening of the physical distancing and other things like that. The 4th phase will be more people coming to Mass and maybe a little less on the physical distancing and the use of masks, and maybe even going back to the normal distribution of communion. Each phase will be announced when we are ready. So how's that going to happen? Well, we're not going to make that decision. The diocese on its own will not make that decision. As a matter of fact, this large document that I have with me was put together by Tony Kearns, who we all know from being our ex-county prosecutor, who now works for the diocese, along with diocesan members, members of the community, members of leadership of towns that our parishes are in, as well as St. Peter's Hospital. So we've covered all the different categories: medical, state law, diocesan, and of course liturgical requirements. Along with this, to make this happen, there are certain things that we at Our Lady of Lourdes and at every parish have to do. One of them, which is the most important, is after each Mass, the church has to be sanitized. That means that if we have a 10:30 and a 8:30 Mass on a Sunday, sometime between the end of the 8:30 and before we allow people in for the 10:30, we have to clean that church. We are not able to do that by ourselves. We don't have enough staff to be able to do that. And that's where you come in. We are going to be looking for people who would be willing to assist us in this effort. Do not worry, we will have the product necessary to do this quick cleaning. but we will need your assistance to make this happen. It can't occur without you. Another issue is how will we be able to know who's coming and how will they be able to go and be able to participate in Mass? We cannot, at this point, be able to give you a definitive because we don't know what the number is for each of the different categories. However, what we do know is we have to come up with a plan. Right now, we're working on that. And in our next video, we will give you how that will happen. Another important thing to remember is, as much as you like to sit in the same seat when you come to daily Mass or weekend liturgy, it may not happen at this time. That pew that you usually sit in might be one of the ones that we're not going to be using. Or worse yet, you may not be able to sit in that area because someone else has gotten there before you. We are encouraging you to be patient, to use Christian charity, and to be able to be open to this little blip on the screen. We will get through this, but we have to do it together. The other thing that's really important, and this is something that is in this document and as well as some of the things we've seen from other dioceses. If you have a temperature, stay home. If you are not feeling well, either with a corona symptom or a cold, or just not feeling well, stay home. The bishop has given permission for us to be dispensed from the obligation of attending Sunday liturgies until we get through phase 2. So please understand, your health is more important, as well as the health of those attending Mass. Do we feel that this is something we need to do? Yes, we do, because we don't want anyone getting sick. And in a way, it's really good for us all to do this on a regular basis anyway. Secondly, do we feel that this is a lot of extra work? It sure is. But we can get through this together. We need each other. For the time being, we will continue to offer communion on Sunday between 10 and 11. We understand we're probably going to have to start early and we're probably going to go past 11, but we will leave that as our time. I ask that you please follow this website, follow us, even on a daily basis, so that you know where we're at, what's going on, and how we're doing things. We need to be working together. We need to be on one page. We need to be hopeful. And that's the only way this is going to happen. We want to be together. Trust me. After this past weekend's drive-by communion, it was so wonderful. It gave us such spirit and strength. Do not lose that drive. Know that we will be able to celebrate soon as one family. I ask you to remember something. I want you to know that you are in my prayers. Every day I think about every one of you because I know what we're all going through. The only thing I ask is that you remember me as well, so we can all get through this together. The one thing I forgot to say at the beginning was one of our plans was to do a big celebration when this is ended. We will, and we'll do it as the parish family of Our Lady of Lourdes.